So if anybody is able to check whether there is a audio on YouTube, that will be great. Or do you want me to check? I can do it myself. You are able to check? Okay. Yeah, I think I can do it right from here.
Yeah, I think I can do it right from here. Yeah, I think I can do it right from.
It's working. All right. So Om Ganana Twa Ganapatigam Avamahe Kavim Kavina Vashavastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspada Shinmanodipasi Sadhanam Shimha Ganapata Yenamaha No Devi Saraswati Vaja Bhirvajinivati Deenam Avitrevatu Maha Saraswati Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha गुरुवे सर्वलोकानां ऋषिजे भवरोगिणां निधिये सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः अस्मिन् गुरुचरणारविन्दाभ्यां नमः देवीं वाचमजनयन्त देवाः तां विश्वरूपा पशवो वदन्ति सा नो मन्दिरेषु मूर्जन्दुहाना धेनुर्वागस्मानुपतिष्ठितैतु व्यासं वदिष्ठनप्तारं शक्ते पौत्रमकल्मषं पराशरात्मजं वन्दे शुकदातं तपोनिधिं व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीललिता महात्रिपुरसुन्दरी समेत श्रीचन्द्रमौलीश्वराय नमः श्री कांची कामकोटिपीठाधिपति जगद्गुरु श्री शंकराचार्य श्रीचरणयोः प्रणामाः स्वस्ति श्रीमदखिलभूमण्डलालङ्कार त्रयत्रिंशत्कोटिदेवता सेवित श्री कामाक्षी देवी सनाथ श्रीमदेकाम्बरनाथ श्री महादेवी सनाथ श्री हस्तिगिरिनाथ साक्षात्कार परमाधिष्ठान सत्यव्रतनामाङ्कित काञ्ची दिव्यक्षेत्रे शारदामणस्थितानाम् अत्रिसारसमाधुर्य कमलासन कामिनी धम्मिल्ल सम्फुल्ल मल्लिका मालिका निष्यन्द मकरन्द झरी सौवस्तिक वाङ् निगुम्ब विजृम्भणानन्द तुन्दलिति मनीषमण्डलानाम् अनुप्रदाद्वैत विद्या विनोदरसिकानां निरन्तरालङ्कृतीकृत शान्तिदान्ति भूम्नां सकलभुवनचक्र प्रतिष्ठापक श्रीचक्र प्रतिष्ठा विख्यात यशोलङ्कृतानां निखिलभाषण्डषण्डकण्ठकोद्घाटनेन विशदीकृत वेद वेदान्तमार्ग शन्मत प्रतिष्ठापकाचार्याणां श्रीमत्परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य श्रीजगद्गुरु श्रीमच्छङ्कर भगवत्पादाचार्याणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमच्चन्द्रशेखरेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अधिष्ठाने सिंहासनाभिषिक्त श्रीमज्जयेन्द्र सरस्वती संयमीन्द्राणाम् अन्ते वासिवर्य श्रीमशङ्कर विजयेन्द्र सरस्वती श्रीपादानां चरणधनयोः सप्रशयं साञ्जलिबन्धं च नमस्कुर्मः शिवशक्तिसमारम्भां भास्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मत्श्रीनाथपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः श्रीमात्रे नमः. So, coming back to where we were, so far, any questions on Nyasam, what to do, how to do, why we are doing? All clear, right? Because all of you have got Mantra Japam, Diksha, etc. So you know you're familiar with it. In case you want to have any questions, please feel free to ask. So there was a question in the morning session whether we should do Nyasam every time we chant or is it just only when we do a puja? The answer is very simple. Every time you do a japam, regardless of whether it is a formal puja or you're just chanting while walking around, you can do a nyasam, then you can do all chanting every time you chant. Any stotram, any mantra japam, nyasam is always good to do. The caveat to that is you're not committing a sin if you don't do nyasam when chanting. It is recommended. Anything in our system is always recommended. They don't say you have to do it, otherwise you're a sinner. So I don't want a sense of guilt coming in. Oh, he said that we have to do it. And that should not be a criteria for saying, oh, I don't have time for Nyasam, so I'm not going to chant Sahasranamam itself. That doesn't make sense. So that part of it, I wanted to be clear. Also, there was a question in the morning whether women can chant Om. You may not have that question, but if you do, then there is no restriction on women for anything. The recommendation for women to not learn some parts of Vedam is there, but that again, only experts can say what the reason is. The only reason that has been given by some people that I've spoken with is it's basically the harmonic waves for Rudram Chamakam Purusha Suktam are not recommended for women. Barring that, I don't think there is any restriction anywhere. That is one of the reasons why I opened up in saying I will teach Suktams to all of you. So that question also should not be there, or fear should not be there. I wish we get a very clear answer as soon as possible. As of now, I'm just following the Guru's advice and tips that is given to me. So here we start with the stotram. We finished up to prior to the stotram in Vishnu Sahasranamam. So we can start with Om. Some people can say Om Namo Narayanaya, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Om Vishwasmai Namaha. There are many things that people add. I don't. So we'll start with Om Vishwam Vishnur Vashitkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu Vishwam Vishnur Vashitkaro Bhuta Bhavya Bhavat Prabhu. So Bhutakrit Bhuta Bhritbhavo Bhutatma Bhuta Bhavanah. So it is Bhuta Krid. It is soft. Bhuta Bhrid. Again, it is soft. Bhavo. So there is a bha again and again. And Bhutatma. Tatma is soft. Ta soft. Bhavanah. Bha is again Mahaprana. So you have to be able to transition from hard to soft real quick. So to make avoid any mistakes. Bhuta krit bhuta bhrid bhavo bhutatma bhuta bhavanah bhutatma paramatma cha mukta nam paramagatihi. You see how I'm giving the time for nam without rushing. Bhutatma paramatma cha मुक्तानां परमागतिः अव्ययः पुरुषः साक्षी क्षेत्रज्ञोऽक्षर एव च. After Gno, there is Avagraha, that's why I dragged it. Avyayah followed by Purushaha will be Avyayah, PH. Purushaha followed by Sakshi will make it Purushas Sakshi. I'm not sure whether the audio is clear enough that you're able to pick up what I'm doing for Visarga substitution. If it is clear, then it is good. Otherwise, you can raise your hand. Avyayah Purusha Sakshi Kshetrajnyo Kshara Eva cha Yogo Yoga Vidam Neta Pradhana Purusheshwarah Yogo Yoga Vidam Neta Pradhana Purusheshwarah Narasimha Purushriman Keshava Purushottamah Narasimhavapu Shriman Keshava Purushottamah Simha Vaf Push Shriman Keshava Purushottamah. So same way Sarva Shivasthanur Bhutadhir Nidhiravyayah Sarvash Shivasthanur Bhutadir Nidhiravyayah Shivasthanur Bhutadir Nidhiravyayah Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhava Prabhurishwarah Sambhavo Bhavano Bharta Prabhava Prabhurishwarah Swayambhush Shambhuradityah Pushkaraksho Mahaswanah. Swayambhuhu, bhu is dirgham. So bhu two matra and visarga one matra. So Swayambhush bhush Swayambhush Shambhuradityah Pushkaraksho Mahaswanah Anadinidhano Dhata Vidhata Dhaturuttamah Anadinidhano Dhata Vidhata Dhaturuttamah Aprameyo Hrishikesha Padmanabho Maraprabhu. After Bho there is Avagraha. So Aprameyo Hrishikesha Padmanabho Maraprabhu Vishwakarma Manustvashtas Staviro Dhruvah. Dhruv is hard. Tha is hard. So Vishwakarma Manustvashta Sthavishta Staviro Dhruvah Stavishta Stavira. That is the key part where the tha has to come out very hard. Don't say staviro. It is stavishta. Stavishta staviro dhruvah agrahyashat shvatah krishno lohitakshah pratardarah agrahyashashvatah krishno lohitakshah pratardarah प्रभूतस्त्रिककुब्धाम पवित्रं मङ्गलं परम् प्रभूतस्त्रिककुब्धाम ब is soft कुब्धाम पवित्रं मङ्गलं परम् प्रभूतस्त्रिककुब्धाम पवित्रं मङ्गलं परम् ईशानः प्राणदः प्राणो ज्येष्ठः श्रेष्ठः प्रजापतिः ईशानः प्राणदः प्राणो ज्येष्ठः श्रेष्ठः प्रजापतिः हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भो माधवो मधुसूदनः हिरण्यगर्भो भूगर्भो माधवो मधुसूदनः ईश्वरो विक्रमी धन्वी मेधावी विक्रमः क्रमः ईश्वरो all e ro vikrami me is again dirgham dhanvi v is dirgham medhavi v is dirgham vikramah kramah that is short hraswa. So ishvaro, you have to have the patience to say ishvaro, not ishvaro. Ishvaro vikrami dhanvi medhavi vikramah kramah anuttamo दुरादर्शः दुराधर्षः ध hard sh soft कृतज्ञः कृतिरात्मवान् अनुत्तमो दुरादर्शः कृतज्ञः कृतिरात्मवान् सुरेशः शरणं शर्म विश्वरेता प्रजाभवः सुरेशः शरणं शर्म विश्वरेताः प्रजाभवः अहः संवत्सरो व्यालः प्रत्ययः सर्वदर्शनः अहः संवत्सरो व्यालः प्रत्ययः सर्वदर्शनः. Can anybody tell me the nuance here? Correct. So after the Anuswara, you have the Va, so it is Samvatsara, not Samvatsara, Samvatsara. Okay, super. So we'll stop with this on Vishnu Sahasranamam and we go to the Mundaka Upanishad, right? Any question so far? No question at all? That's very surprising. Okay, so let's go to. You can unmute your mics and what is it that we have learned so far in Mundaka Upanishad? If you can get the crux of it, then that is good. That's a good way to summarize and remember whatever we have learned rather than just going forward without. ராமசாமி நீங்களா இது பண்ணிக்கோங்க மைக் அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கிறோம். Okay. Is that what Mundaka Upanishad is? The first four slokas, what have we learned in that? Correct. What did he teach? That is what Padmaji said. Correct? No? Don't agree with that? Correct. So this is not teaching you in the first four slokas Brahma Vidya. It makes a reference that Brahma taught Brahma Vidya to is Jeshtaputra Atharva. And then what did we learn? To no. Atharva to Angi. Correct. Who is Satyavaha? Correct. And Satyavaha taught to who? Angiras. And what happens after Angiras? What is the Mundaka Upanishad about? Why did this get started? Okay, yeah, in a way, correct. And the question came from who to who? Correct, correct. Shaunaka asked that question to Angiras as to what is it that I must learn to know about everything, or what is it that I must know by which I will know everything. So, what did Angiras do? Correct. So, when he started asking a question, what is it that he must learn or know to know everything? He didn't teach him directly Brahma Vidya. He started with the lower level knowledge. So that unless you understand the lower level knowledge, you will not be able to understand the higher level knowledge and what the difference between the two is. Correct? So that is where we stop. That is our own my own examples to make you understand what it is. But what does he say in shloka number 4? Shloka number 4 we started, no? We finished shloka 4. Okay. So we stopped at Praha. Okay, got it. Okay. Fine. So let us focus on shloka number 4. Tasmai sahovacha. Tasmai sa hovacha. Dve vidye veditavye iti hasma yat brahmavido vadanti para chaiva paracha. द्वे विद्ये वेदितव्ये इति हस्म तव्ये तव्ये illa that is a word half, it is not in, there is no horizontal line after that circle. Yeah, only if it is a horizontal line then it becomes in. Yeah, give me 1 second. I just need to. Okay, so Saha means it is referring to Angiras. Saha, Tasmai to him, that is Shaunaka. Uvacha means said. So Angiras, which is Saha, Uvacha said to him, that is Tasmai. Got it? That is the first part. Dve vidye. Dve means two. Vidye means knowledge. Veditavye, to be known. Iti, thus. Hasma means verily. Brahma Vidaha, the knowers of the Vedas or Brahman. Brahma Vidaha means the knowers of the Vedas or Brahman. Vadanti, say. Yat means which. Para, the superior. Apara, inferior. Cha means and. So para, cha, apara is chaiva para. So para, chaiva para cha. That means superior and inferior. Yat Brahma Vido, that becomes Yat Brahma Vido. Got it? So, in short, that is the word by word translation. In short, what Angira said to him, or he replied to him, is there are two kinds of knowledge to be known. Who says that? The Vedic scholars say. And the two knowledges, the lower knowledge and the higher knowledge. That is all that is to the shloka number 4. Make sense? Okay. So, fifth one is Tatra para Rigvedo Yajurvedas. Vedaha will become Yajurvedas. Samaveda Atharva Vedaha. When combined will become Samavedo with Avagraha. Samavedo Tharva Vedaha. When it is followed by Shiksha Kalpo, it becomes Samavedo Tharva Vedash. Shiksha Kalpo. Vyakaranam Niruktam Chando Jyotishamiti. Jyotishamiti. Atha para jaya tat aksharam. When combined becomes tadaksharam. Aksharam and adigamyate. Imbanda becomes ma. So when all the three words are combined, tadaksharam adigamyate. So tatra, of them, apara, the lower. What is that lower knowledge? It is all about Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharva Veda. Now, knowledge of all the 4 Vedas is considered lower level knowledge. Isn't it surprising that we would have lived our life? It is We would have lived our life without even knowing that we don't even have the lower level knowledge without learning Vedas. Shiksha means phonetics. Who can say what phonetics is? I'll give a nice example. We make a lot of fun of this language. KNOW is no. NO is also no. Whereas DO is do. Correct? Whereas in German, you write MUTTER. It's pronounced as Mutter. It's very phonetic. If somebody says it, the sound itself you can transcribe into the letters and spellings. Yes, correct. So basically, KNIGHT is also night. NIGHT is also night. It is not considered a very phonetic language. WOULD is wood. WOOD is wood. So there are many things that you can learn from that. So in Sanskrit is a very phonetic language. Huh? Correct. Correct. So Kalpaha is the code of the rituals or the sutras. Right? We have talked a lot about sutras. Kalpaha is about those rituals or the code of rituals. What are the code of rituals? Can somebody give an example? Sorry. In a way, yes. Slightly more advanced. No. Don't confuse rituals, rules, code of rituals versus sampradaya. Yeah. Padmaji, if you don't mind, just can you move your camera towards your left hand slightly? That's good enough. Thank you. Because I was only seeing half of your face, so that was very distracting. Yeah. So, code of rituals, a fantastic example is you must have seen us build a Homokunda for Chandiyavan, right? So, you just can't say, I will build a huge structure in some odd shape, star shaped, or something like that. There are rules that if you are doing a particular Havanam, what is the dimension that is required, what is the shape that is allowed, what type of homam will require what, and what is the procedure of a Havanam from start to finish. I don't know whether many of you are aware that I will not go into too much of technical detail. Okay, so Patra Sadhanam and all those things are there. That is too technical. But did you know that there is always a need for Brahma when you are doing homam? You are aware of it? See, very, very surprising. You are part of so many homams. These are the nuances that you need to learn. Ah. Can anybody guess what is the role of Brahma? No, no, Brahma means you don't imagine that man with four hands like this with Veda book and the crown and all. That is all for worship. No, Brahma's role is to supervise whether the person who is performing the yajna has followed all the ritual code of rituals. No shortcuts. Supervisor. Then there is a role of somebody who will be the person responsible for the construction of the Homakunda. There will be somebody who will be responsible for collection of summits. What type of wood, from where it has to be collected, how much is required, where you keep it. There are rules for everything. Agni Mukham, when you invoke Agni Mukham, you must see there are many times somebody, the person performing the homam himself is doing it. Sometimes he'll call the lady of the house to come and put the invocation of Agni. So you must ask all those questions. Why? Why at different times different things are happening? That is how you learn, right? So the invocation procedures are different depending on what type of homam you do, Vaidika homam or Tantrika homam. Bali is a very detailed topic. So those are all codified in the code of rituals. So what you do is when you learn all these things, you're learning all the lower level knowledge. These are all called the lower level knowledge. Vyakaranam is what? Correct. Example of grammar. Every shloka I do it, so you can't forget it. That is not Vyakaranam. I just told you, no? Yajurvedaha, Samavedaha will combine, will become Yajurvedas, Samavedaha. Samavedaha, Atharvavedaha will become Samavedotharvavedaha. All of this is grammar, Vyakaranam, everything. Got it? No, Chandas is separate. That is coming next, later. So don't mix Chandas with all these things. Right? So if you have first name, last name as Padma Tata, can I call you Padmo Tata? Yes or no? That is a rule. That is a grammar. Right? So in Sanskrit, you have similar rules. They are called Sandhi. So I said after the Anuswara, if there is a Yaralabasa Shashasa, it becomes Anunasika. All those things are called grammar rules. Visarga means there is plural. Right? In Lagunyasa, when I teach, I always say one place. It's very specific to Prithvi. You cannot say Prithvi as singular or in the sense as plural. It is already a grand thing. So there is no Visarga there at the time when you do the Nyasam for Prithvi. So these are all Vyakaranam. So you get into the nuances of Namaha plus Astu become Namostu. All of these things are grammar. Fortunately, in Sanskritam, there is no rule like the second part of position is to be the verb, then this is the pronoun, that is the object, subject. We don't have any of those complications. You can reshuffle, like Tasmai Saho Vasha, I just reshuffled it any way, which way I want, it doesn't change the meaning. The way it is written and the way it is read will change, but it does not change the meaning. These are all called grammar, Vyakaranam. Niruktam is what? Sorry? No. Niruktam is etymology. Etymology, can anybody explain what it is? Etymology means the root or the origin of the words. Origin. Like caste is a word that you hear, right? Caste is derived from a Greek word called casto. So for every word that you use today, there is always an etymology. You can go into the dictionary and you can find it. It's in the Vedic lexicon, not regular. Then Chandaha is the prosody or meters. Jyotisham. How many But Padmaji is here, so she will immediately answer. Otherwise, I would have asked how many meters are there. So without Padmaji, can anybody else answer the question? Ramswamy is taking an option. He says skip. Padmaji? Yeah, you have to answer the correct answer. Each one gave a different answer, so you give the correct answer. 36. Of which some are important, some are popular and important. So that's a different story that you will find in Nitya Sandhya Vandana, which Ramswamy is supposed to find out and come with the answer. Vishwaji is busy at work, so he cannot answer. But Sitaji, you must ask him during the week and be ready before the next class. What do you say in Sandhya Vandana? Those are all the most popular ones, especially Gayatri Japa, right? Okay, so good. So, no, Gayatri meter has got 24 syllables. In Gayatri Japa, when you do the Nyasam in the beginning, you are referencing all the meters, the important meters. Okay, so it's a world by itself. Whenever you agree for a special class, we can get into the detail. What different types of chandas are there? Why? What is the number of letters? And you'll see a beautiful algorithm. So you can imagine that for anything and everything that we chant, there is a harmonic pattern. It's an algebraic expression that you are giving, right? That is how advanced these things are. So it's not some blabbering of some words and letters just for the sake of our satisfaction going away. You're creating a sound pattern, waveforms in a particular harmonic intended for specific purposes. If I'm talking at this tone, you are able to hear. The moment I raise my frequency to a very high decibel level, very high frequency, can anyone tell me what will happen? I'm not talking to you in a normal tone, right? So you're able to hear, you're able to enjoy the conversation. Suddenly, I shriek at a very shrill voice, very high pitched. It won't go straight away like that. It will do something before going above your head. It can disturb your mind to the extent that you can lose your self balance. And if the decibel level or the pitch is much even higher beyond your audible range, then you will not even hear. Make sense? So sound patterns and sound waves that we create around us impacts us within and impacts us from outside and impacts other people around us. So you can't just pick something and start chanting it the way you want it. As long as you follow what it is said. If in the beginning you say Anushtup Chanda hai, you maintain Anushtup Chanda meter. Make sense? So that is the basic thing. Jyotisham, astronomy, all of you know. Atha means but. Atha means but. Para, which is again higher level knowledge. The higher. Yaya means by which. Tat, that. Here, please remember, Aksharam is not the letter. Aksharam is referring the imperishable. Aksharam is what? Adhigamyate means is reached or attained. So tatra means what? Of them. What is the reference of them? Lele. Of them. What is the them reference to? Aha, ha, ha, aha, ha. Mm. No, go to Shloka 4. We just said no, Dve Vidye. So Shloka 5 is following up from 4, right? Of them means of the two Vidya. Of the two Vidya. Them means it is references to the two Vidya. Dve Vidye. Are we clear or is it confusing? Para and Apara, the higher level and lower level Vidya, right? So Tatra means of them. Apara, the lower, consists of Rigvedo, Samavedo, Yajurvedo, Atharvavedo, plus Niruktam is what? Correct. Vyakaranam, correct. Kalpo, code of rituals. Sutra, code of rituals. Yeah. Shiksha, correct. Chando, meter. Jyotisham, astronomy. Iti means etc. Right? So now it is clear. The shloka is very clear. Okay. Atha parayaya. Atha means but. But the higher vidya by which the imperishable is attained. Tat means that aksharam is the imperishable. Adhigamyate is attained. So what is Angira saying? Of these, the lower level knowledge is the following: Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharvaveda, phonetics, code of rituals, grammar, etymology, prosody, and astronomy. The higher level knowledge is that by which the imperishable is reached. This is the meaning of shloka number 5. Now, Shruti means it relegates all the knowledge that is merely intellectual. It deals only with the relative aspects of life into the category of lower knowledge and holds up the realization of the immutable Atman, the realization of the Atman as the highest knowledge. So when you're busy learning, correct, correct. Mm. Correct. Reaching the imperishable. I'm coming to the additional explanation that will help you. Why, what, how. Hmm? So, but we have to first understand what is the higher level and lower level difference. Basic. What are the elements? If somebody says, what is this? Then you should be able to identify whether it is lower level or higher level. Then you go more into the details of why it is classified the way it is classified. So don't try to jump fast. Otherwise, you will miss the details. And I don't want you at the. Uh, I'm coming to that. I'm coming to that. So if you ask any outside person, let's say there are many people who listen to so many upanyasas, etc. But you ask any outside person, what is God? Oh, God is a two-hand, two-legged idol that I see in the temple or at home. That's all. So there are people who will just buy it from the store and keep it at home. Oh, I have got all the gods at home. There are some people who don't believe in idols. They'll keep all the pictures. If you go to their puja room, it will be like all four sides pictures and pictures everywhere. They won't spare even a single god. To them, that is God. And when I tell people that while it is important to be having a very good choice and selection, there's a huge metallurgy behind this selection of stone, from where it is carved, what kind of a material it is. And there are multiple options. It's not just like one granite type of stone for the idol. And that stone has to have certain properties. You can't just pick any stone and carve it. Or you can't do cementing, mold, and concrete. Makes no sense. It may look like Ganesha or this thing, it makes no sense. But more importantly, in the temple, there is a yantra below each idol. That is what is critical. So when you pound day in and day out, chanting of mantras, slokas, you create that sound energy and it gets trapped into that energy, yantra. So if you're familiar with automobile and flywheel, in automobile there is a four-stroke engine. These days it's all Tesla battery operated. That's a different story. In internal combustion engines, there are four stages: suction, compression, explosion, exhaust. So there is only one of the four that produces energy, which is the explosion of the fuel. What happens in the other three? There is something called a flywheel. You must have seen a circular disc by the side of the engine. That will be connected by a belt to a small battery operated motor. So when you start the ignition, you are actually starting that small motor by which you are turning the flywheel, by which those internal chambers will be in different positions until that chamber gets compressed, and at that time fuel is injected into the cylinder and it explodes. So the energy in the fuel, the hydrocarbon bonding is released, that causes the energy. And when it releases that energy, it gets stored in the flywheel for it to deliver it for other three cycles. Similarly, the yantra, did I go too fast or you want me to repeat anything? So it's only once it is giving energy and the flywheel stores it. The remaining three sections, the energy comes from the flywheel. Otherwise, how will that piston go up again? Got it? Same way, in the yantra, you whatever you chant, it gets captured. So, which is why in our concept, the Garbhagraha is always connected to the earth. The foundation has to be connected to the earth. It cannot be in higher level floors. And the yantra is kept first, and then the idol, and then it is cemented with a specific material. All these things are taught in Agama Shastra. Very specialized form of knowledge, as big and as important as Veda Shastra. And it is called Garbhagraha, which means the womb. So when you carry a baby, you must have seen that during the Simantonayanam, they chant Udaka Shanti. Hello?
Hello?
Oh, one second. Yeah. So momentarily, I think I lost. I checked the YouTube. YouTube is still running, so I hope we haven't missed anything. So where was I? Yeah. So when you chant Udaka Shanti, which is again a very smart selected compilation of parts of Vedas, various sections of Vedas, intended to create a harmonic that will reach the child, which in turn is supposed to improve its memory. There's a lot of brain development that happens in that last 8 weeks. At that time, you're targeting the womb. So if you've seen, Vadhyars of priests these days are very flexible. They'll tell the lady, "Oh, we are very, very troubled. There's a lot of pain. You can go and walk. You're not required now. I'll call you when you're required, etc." When they start Udaka Shanti, they'll just tell the lady, "Don't move. Others can go." The lady is supposed to sit there. It's not for the lady. It's a for the baby inside the womb. Got it? So all of these things, you. So the temple, I hope you know. Again, it's like a sleeping woman form, human form, right? So the Garbhagraha is the womb of the temple. Got it? The purpose is when you have the bell. Again, the bell has got certain materialistic compositions of the alloys that are involved in that. There is a shape that is designed for a purpose. The gong, the weight and the shape of the gong is designed specifically so that when you get in, you have a habit of putting that bell, ringing the bell once. Has any one of you bothered to know why we do that? See how much of science and engineering and metallurgy and knowledge is involved in all this, right? Do you agree? When we go, just like we do Dhyana Shlokam at the beginning of the class, so that we compose ourselves and we are able to focus. And I'm giving a lot of knowledge. Let's say half of your mind is what Vishwa is doing upstairs, or is the pressure cooker is going to burst now anytime. I don't think you'll absorb the knowledge. These things require a lot of focus, attention, concentration, right? So, for those of you who are familiar with IT, that knocking the bell, the gong in the bell, it's supposed to produce instant high frequency pitch harmonic, and then it will wait, right? That is intended to do a sort of a quick erase of the things that you're distracted with. You may be coming from work, you may have had a fight in the parking lot for parking space with somebody. Thousand things could have happened. Before you step into the temple, boom, it gives instant, quick format kind of a thing, quick erase, so that your system is fresh. Imagine that you're going into the near the Garbhagraha. The purpose is it is like getting into the MRI, which has got a magnetic resonance that goes on, and you absorb that energy and come home. Very simple, right? Did we spend trillions and gazillions of dollars to do all this research and engineering? It is all handed over free of cost by Angiras, Shaunaka, Bharadwaja. We don't even pay them any royalty. Huh? And there are people who are too busy on Twitter to abuse all these things because for them it's all about supremacy and many other things. So shameful. So, Shruti means it's all merely dealing with all the intellectual aspects and relative aspects of life, what impacts us, how, why we do homam, why we do parayanam, all of this stuff, right? Whereas it doesn't take you to God, it doesn't get you closer to God. You can connect with God, but it doesn't take you closer to God. And that's where the distinction is that for you to be able to realize God and reach God, you need to have the higher level of knowledge. That is the knowledge of the imperishable, the eternal, ultimate truth. And to address your curiosity, Sri Vidya is a system by which you attain higher level knowledge. So imagine all those people that are slightly ill informed. Oh, Sri Vidya is all black magic. If you do Sri Vidya at home, it all brings bad luck and nightmares to home. They don't even want to come and read one book. They don't even want to come and listen to one lecture. And not only they will not do it, they will spread that knowledge to so many people and scare people away. It is said that you will not even come in the path, that opportunity will not even knock your door if Ambal doesn't tell you that this is your janma in which you can give a shot for moksha. Not everybody gets the opportunity. But when opportunity knocks on your door, if you don't get it, then there's a problem. Also, there is a concept I believe you don't keep getting opportunities after opportunities in life. First time you'll get a chance, second time you'll get a chance, third time either you take it or leave it. That's what normally happens. Correct? So, to remove the fear, knowledge is important. Once you have knowledge, then it removes your fear. So, when he gives this kind of an answer, it's an indirect answer to the question. However, in the later slokas and mantras, Angiras is explaining more in detail. So, when you say phonetics, the six kinds of knowledge are called the Vedangas. Can somebody quickly summarize what are all those? Vyakarana, Chanda, Kalpa. Correct. They're also called the six limbs of Veda, called Vedangas. There's one word I forget now where it falls, whether it is not part of this. It's called Mimamsa. It's again a huge topic by itself. Mimamsa decides the utilization of aksharas into words, formation of words that make a meaning in the based on the context. Yeah, that is the field that deals with all this stuff. It is so important that when we do puja at the end of the day, end of the puja, we do Chaturveda Parayana. Agnimihile Purohitam Yajnasya Deva Vritvijam. You heard that, right? The last one is what? Correct. Shanno Devi Ravishtayapo Bhavantu Pite. After that, so we have given reference to all the four Vedas. Then what do we say? Athato Darshapurnavaya Akhya Syamaha. Then you will say something from the Puranam and the Upanishads. Then they will chant the Panchangam. That is a detailed announcement of the Panchangam. And if you have Mimamsa experts, after the Panchangam, they will talk about Mimamsa. That language itself will sound different. And we are blessed to have such people in the US who are knowledgeable and trained in all these things. Especially when we went to Atirudram and major programs like that, there are people who are capable of doing that. Or in any Kovil Kumbhabhishekam. Next time when you come for Manimandam Kumbhabhishekam, pay attention to all these things. Because you'll have all the experts coming and chanting and doing all that. And that is where sometimes I feel sad when all of these things are happening. There are people who say, I don't know what they're doing and chanting something in Vedam. No, so they'll be busy. Where did you buy your sari? When did you buy it? Can you send me this? Can you give me the contact? It becomes a socializing event. So I'm not trying to make them feel guilty, but had we just spread the knowledge to our people, to individually our own children, our neighbors, friends, and relatives, awareness will be much more. Correct? Did you ever imagine that this level of engineering and metallurgy is involved in all this? We must, because we have stopped asking questions. While I'm giving this narrative so deep and interesting, Question should come. Okay, from where did they get the knowledge of metallurgy and engineering? I mean, we are talking of that them having knowledge of the entire cosmos, how big it is, what is the distance of center of the sun to the cosmos, end of the cosmos. Everything is written, handed over to us. It's no secret. Open intellectual property. They defined that there is a moon that is revolving around the earth. They gave you tithis. I was shocked. There are many people who didn't even know what is tithi, why it is so important. So our unit of time is vinadi, nadige, hora. Then it goes to divase, vare, pakshe. Paksha is important. Why paksha is so important? Oh, that I understand. But why it is 15 days important? What is the meaning of that? Full moon to no moon to full moon. Amavasya to Purnami, Purnami to Amavasya. So one is called Shukla Paksham, other is called Krishna Paksham. Shukla is invariably called white, Krishna is black. See how beautifully everything falls in place. So the position of the moon impacts all of us. When you come to Amavasya, you will see high tide. You will see lots and lots of people who are mentally unstable get impacted in Amavasya. Their behavior will change. So how can you say, I don't know, there's something object floating in the sky, I have nothing to do, I'm never going to go to moon, so why should it matter to me? No, it does matter. Similarly, our system has understood the impact of all the grahas. You can't say that Jupiter is there, Saturn is there, Shani is there. Why should I worry about Shani? No, Shani impacts you. That is why Jyotisha Shastram is there. It tells you what are the impacts of all these things based on when you were born, what was the primordial star in that particular moment, in what constellation. That is why Nakshatra Rashi, which is why every puja we do Navagraha Puja, Navagraha Homa. We keep neutralizing those doshas. So you can't say, I don't even know what these Pandits are chanting. Why? Hmm? So these are called Vedangas. So now you're getting an idea, right? So to answer your question, Sri Vidya gives you that tool to access the higher level knowledge. So we'll stop here and we'll continue from here in the next class. So has this been useful? Hmm? Is it overwhelming, too technical?